Hi, Leather Rock here. Welcome to my channel. And this is Terry Boy, you know him. Check this out. This is makeup that I designed for those of you that want to celebrate Thanksgiving, but you want to honor the Centers for Disease Control guidelines, and so you're going to be doing Skype holidays. So you want to get all gussied up, but you don't want to take chances, and you want to contact all your family and friends over the video instead. And this look here, it's muted enough that it would be family friendly. It's also somber enough so that those of you, the half of the country that's not happy about what's going on with the election stuff, if you're not feeling particularly festive, these are colors of taupes and light gray blue, and it's kind of muted, but it's still glamorous. And it's featuring the B&H Cosmetics Color Festival palette. So if you want to learn how I did it, stay tuned. You don't think I was going to do a video without showing my Cassie girl? Yeah, she was sleeping, minding her own business, and I just had to pester her. So to watch more videos for us, stay tuned, subscribe. Kitties love you. To save time, I already did my foundation and my eyebrows. Oh, and just so you know, I did something different for my eyebrows this time. I'm really running low on the purple liquid lipstick. So, and I really seems to me that I should probably save what I have left for when I'm actually going out fancy places. So, I'm using this Color Festival palette. And first I put this matte color over my eyebrows, and then I cover it up with this real dark purple that looks almost black, and that sort of kind of evokes the color. It's a little bit darker obviously and not as bright as my hair colors, but it's, you know, good enough. So first thing I'm going to do though is prep my eyelids, and for the most part I've been using this e.l.f. This says e.l.f. eye primer and liner sealer. This is the primer part, and this is the lightest shade they have. It comes in 3 shades, and if this is light, this is, well, it looks much darker what I'm seeing and maybe what you see here. But this is the liner sealer part, which you're supposed to be able to dip this in any eyeshadow you want, and then put it under your eyes. The only thing is that it's not waterproof eyeliner, and then once the brush is stained, then you can't use lighter colors with it. So I'm going to use my computer monitor as my mirror. I'm not going to do all of my mirror work using the monitor, but I know that it's easier for you to see. And this is a pretty good light situation. I have my stand-up desk within 3 feet of my back wall there, and since this is semi-gloss paint on the walls, it really is ideal for reflecting light. So now that I have my eyelid prepped, I'm going to get into my trusty bag of brushes. And these brushes are both B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro 17. The first thing I'm going to do, well, you know what, I'm not going to get this brush. I am going to use a flatter brush, because I'm going to start off, as I usually do, with my brow bone color. And use a lot of brushes for that. I'm going to use this real skinny brush. This is an Ulta Beauty brush. It just says eyeshadow. That's all it says. But as you can see, you could use it as an eyeliner, and you can also use it to pack color on. This is not good for blending, really. Now, I'm going to use the palest shade in this palette, which is this color here, and all of them are named, and this name is Disco. It looks frosty white. It's actually kind of like a rose gold white, but still it's pretty much white. And I am going to use my mirror. Hopefully you can still see, and I'm just going to trace along the edge of the eyebrow. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the other side. if I get this edited and posted the same day, I'll really feel like I've got something accomplished. Luckily, makeup tutorials don't take a lot of time to film. So, now this looks obvious in my mirror here. I'm going to blend this a little bit, but I'm going to bring my face close to the mirror here, rather close to the camera, so you can see. I don't know how obvious that was, but I want to make sure that both sides match. That's kind of important. Okay, I'm going to set this brush aside. No, I don't want to use my coffee cup. I'll just use this so that I can keep track of my brushes. Good idea to do that. Now I'm going to go back into this Color Festival palette, and I'm looking for a theme. I'm going for a look that's kind of somber and still dramatic, even though this is ideally could be for a Skype version of a Thanksgiving, family get-together, since the Centers for Disease Control frowns upon families getting together this time of year because of COVID and stuff. And at least half the country is feeling kind of depressed right now because of the presidential election, and of course if you've lost loved ones, and if anybody you know has been affected by COVID, you're probably not too happy either. Well, I'm going to dip into this color called Holo, H-O-L-O, and it looks like a pale metallic grayish blue, and I'm going to put that just on the lids, small coverage on the lids. And by small coverage, I don't mean that it's not heavy and opaque, but I mean that I'm not using a whole lot of lid space, so that I have more room closer to the crease for more color. That lid coat that I used by e.l.f., you can use probably any foundation that's moist, not a quick dry foundation. You could use a creamy concealer. I would definitely go for, especially if you have darker skin tone, I would go for a concealer that's lighter than your darker skin, just so that your colors will really pop. Having a pale base or a white base gives your eyeshadow colors something to adhere to, and if they're bright colors, really allows them to show up. Let's get close to the wall so you can see what I have so far. Set this brush aside. I'm going to go for another somber looking color. It's, ironically enough, it has the name Queen, and it's a color here that looks kind of like a metallic taupe. I think that color would look really great with this gray blue color. And now in this light, it looks almost like it has a little bit more of a brown cast to it. And that's okay. And I think this time I'm going to use this as a mirror. And I'm just going to go just above where that blue-gray color is. And I'm going to sweep over. And as you could see, that was very, very subtle. And if it's looking subtle, that could only mean one thing. Going back into the palette and putting some more on the brush. And again, balancing this with one hand. And then I'm going to do the other side. If you noticed, I've been wearing black lately. It's not my favorite color really, but with the mood that so many people are feeling, worried about the future for our country, worried about this pandemic, worried about the cases spiking, and so much bad news. And I noticed that I often dress reflecting how I feel. Many people do that. My mother does that. She's been wearing an awful lot of black since Dad died. So, and my mother, her style is not full of a lot of bright colors, and like many large people, she, I think, feels like if she wore bright colors, then maybe people would see her coming before they should see her coming, and she really shouldn't feel bad about herself for something that's such a universal thing. And there is no law that says anybody can't wear bright festive colors, but I guess some people just, that's not within their comfort zone. So, but one thing, if you're wearing a lot of monochromatic looks, it makes doing laundry easier, it makes getting dressed easier because everything matches, right? But I tell you, and the reason why I haven't put more beads in my hair, I intended on braiding up my hair and putting beads in it, and for my birthday I had more beads in my braids, but when the election results weren't looking what I liked, it kind of took some of the wind out of my sails, and so I haven't really, even though I braided up more of my hair, I have not put more beads in. Part of the thing is I need more rubber bands. You need little tiny rubber bands for this. Now, should the election results end up being in our favor, I will go back to being my typical festive self, and I will put beads in my hair and everything. But I mean, when you look at it this way, we're in the middle of a pandemic. It's not safe to really go anywhere. It's not safe to travel. People are still doing it, obviously, and we don't know whether the marches that have been happening, whether they're going to be super spreaders. We found out that the Sturgis bike rally, that was considered a super spreader. Of course, their idea of a super spreader is it was less than 100 COVID cases, and it seems to me that if it's less than 100, considering all the thousands that showed up, I would not call that super spreading. But apparently, any kind of gathering at all, if they find out that anybody's gotten COVID, then it's a super spreader, which would explain why our president got accused of that when he had that ceremony in the Rose Garden for the latest Supreme Court inductee. I guess you can't call her a nominee anymore since she got approved. I was kind of surprised that she got approved, considering that so many people, including myself, are concerned that she may try to reverse Roe v. Wade. And I don't make any secret of being pro-choice Republican. I'm not the only one. And I'm not about to leave my party just because of that one issue that I disagree with so many people. Okay, one thing I think I need is some more of that white color. So I'm going to go back. But you know what, this time I'm going to go ahead and get a bigger brush. I'm going to get a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 6. It's a big blending brush. And I'm going to go back into this color called Disco. Get a nice coating on that. And I apologize for the dirt bags making noise outside. If you think it's noisy now, you should have heard it earlier today. There was, let's just say they had some kind of a gospel shindig outside. And I almost thought, did I miss a day? Was it Sunday? No, it's Saturday. But when you live in the ghetto like I do, you kind of learn to roll with the punches. That's the only way you could survive. You have to have a sense of humor, and you have to be flexible. And as soon as it got quiet, again, quiet being a relative term, I said, I better go hurry up and film so that I could edit up something for people today. I could just do another one of those rambling live stream things, but you know, I don't think it's really fair to my viewers. It would be one thing if I had a whole lot of preparation and a whole lot of bullet points and things, but the last one I did, I was tired. I am so seriously sleep deprived. I actually got a decent amount of sleep last night. By decent, I mean 4 hours or less. That is not sufficient. I know it's not. But you know what? It is what it is. Okay, this is still looking more subtle than I would like, but let's see what it looks like so far. Now, some of you might be willing to just put eyeliner on and mascara and be done, but I'm not done. Put this brush back. I'm going to get another brush so that I can get more into the crease. Now I'm going to use a color called Rave. That's this real dark, it's like a purplish as opposed to a bluish color. And I am going to very narrowly emphasize the crease. I'm not wiggling up a bunch here. That will make it too big. Other side. So this look will end up blending itself. You don't really need to blend it. I'm going to add a little more. But this would actually be almost a family-friendly look if there was such a thing. Sometimes people feel the need to be a more subtle version of themselves for family gatherings. I never felt such a pressure myself. However, I could think of a couple of family reunions where my mother decided to go and buy me clothes to wear for that day so that it wouldn't be so controversial. And I was very deeply resentful of her doing this, because this was well after I was over 21 when she would do this. Often she would do this after I'd already left for California and I was still going back and forth between coasts. But sometimes you put up with things, even things that you know are wrong, just to get along with your family members and out of respect for your elders and all these things. And as resentful as I was at the time, as I got older, I started thinking, well, maybe it doesn't hurt to take one for the team sometimes, for your family. Okay, I'm looking for mascaras now. The mascaras that I'm using right now, I'm keeping in this bag. But before I do the mascara, I think I need to do some eyeliner. Let me look where my eyeliners are. If you have the kind of eyeliners that you have to shake, it's good to really hold them so that they're upside down so the points are down. Since I'm not going anywhere, and since this is depicting a Zoom makeup for the people that are not going outside, you probably want something that is going to be easy to take off. Say you're tired, you just want to go to bed, and you don't want to spend a half hour washing your face. Or say you want to be able to just wash your face when you're in the shower. Then sometimes a non-waterproof makeup would be good. And for this, I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. Now, they sell these intending for them to be waterproof. On me, they are not. That said, when I called customer service, they gave me a refund. They're really a decent company. They're very easy to do business with. And even though they're extremely high priced, I catch sales. Anything I've ever bought from them, I got on a very deep discount. That's the only way I could really justify spending that kind of money, even though I know that my viewers are in all social stratas. So for those of you that money is no object, I have no problem with showing you all kinds of things. But that said, you know, my focus does tend to be on things that are more on the affordable side. So that said, since I know this is not waterproof for me, this is what I'm going to use. This would be so ideal if you were just doing things at home and you were going to jump in the shower afterwards. So I'm going to, I don't think I can use this as my mirror. So I'm going to go ahead and use the mirror, and I hope you can see what I'm doing. But it's just applying eyeliner. It's not like I have a fancy technique that nobody else has. I'm not going to wing it out yet. This is a very nice brush, by the way. It is everything that you want in an eyeliner. It's got a nice point, so it's easy to control. It's just too bad that it is not waterproof for me. I did a video out on the boardwalk and it was running so badly, and I couldn't tell how badly it was running even though I was looking at myself in the monitor. Now that I have the lower eyeliner on now, it's easier for me to wing it. Okay, let me get close to the wall so I can see how this. Good. Now let's pick a mascara. And I think I'm also going to make sure that it's not waterproof so that I don't make things hard on myself. I'm not going to use the red one. You know what? This was not. Alright. If it's not in here, then let's see. Alright. Even though I think this is a waterproof mascara, this is a mascara I'm going to use. This is from one of those Asian companies that I recently discovered. The company is called Yanqina, Yanqina, and it's the 36H 36-hour waterproof curl mascara. I suppose I can use this as a mirror. Now it's time for a little bit of color underneath the eyes where the black eyeliner is, and for that I'm going to use another B&H Cosmetics brush that is mostly for eyelining and detailed work. I really love this kind of brush, especially with those gel eyeliners that are truly waterproof, and they're definitely worth the investment. And I'm going to dip into this color that says it's called Center Stage, and it's this color here, and this definitely has more gold and copper in it, and I'm just going to kind of mimic the eyeliner, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now it's time for some cheek color. If you are choosing to ignore the CDC guidelines and you're gathering in public, you're going to be expected to wear a mask. And if you're wearing a mask, it seems to me cheek colors are rather superfluous. For the cheek color, I'm using this makeup kit from Ulta Beauty. I got last Christmas. It was $19.99, but I had a $2 sale coupon on it, and it included, here, let me give you a better look. It included this eyeshadow palette and this cheek palette. And the cheek palette's what we're going to use. And it's got 6 named colors. And to carry on with this kind of muted tone, I'm going to start with this color. This is supposed to be a bronzer, and it's the matte bronzer, and the color is matte bronzer. I'm really not a bronzer girl, but I'm just going to use a very small amount of this on the inner third. I'm certainly not trying to darken my face any. Just give a little bit of an accentuation to my cheekbones. Now I want to get a highlight going, and for that I'll use another one of these big B&H Cosmetics blending brushes. They are so useful. These other colors here, even though some of them are considered to be highlighters, they are only really good highlighters for darker skinned people, and we all know that I am not that. So, you know, each of these Zodiac palettes has a highlighter. I'm going to choose the highlighter from this one because it's a little bit warmer than the highlighter in the other one, and this has a real champagne-y color to it. And all you have to do is tap the brush on here, and right where the cheekbones are, you know what, get some more of this. Just hit where the light would normally hit. And if it's too subtle, then go ahead and I always like to hit my Cupid's bow. And you know what? If you do it before you put your lip color on, then if you do a little bit too much, then your lipstick will cover up the excess. I'm gonna, to do the nose area, I have to make the brush narrow, and then just a little bit. Some people carry it all the way down there. That only, I think, is good if you have more of a point on your nose. If you have any kind of bulbousness to your nose, I wouldn't suggest doing that, because then it just, all people see is a big honker that doesn't even exist. So probably less is more seems to be the case when it comes to highlighter, unless it's very, 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 very similar to your skin tone. Like if you use a highlighter that was less white, maybe. So let's get close up to the wall so we can see what this looks like. You know what? I think I want to use another cheek color, and for that I'll use, no, I don't want to use this big brush. I'll use this brush here, and this is from Ulta Beauty. This is a blush brush. I will go back to that previous palette I had, and I'm going to use this very neutral looking pinky color, and the name for this color is Matte Nude Pink Blush. Gee, real imaginative, isn't it? So I'm gonna use this mirror here, then I'm gonna and because this is so nude, I can go ahead, and this really is very muted. Normally I wouldn't be this heavy-handed, but when it is a very muted color like this, you can actually get away with it. Okay, time for a lip color. And here you have to decide for yourself whether you need to have a matte color that's safe for mask wearing, or if you don't need to wear a face mask, then you can wear any kind of lipstick. So I am going to just use a reasonable color here. Yeah, I do have to fix this. I miss my president. He's got to win a proper no fraud election. Hope, hope, hope. I'm sorry, I can't keep my mouth shut about politics. The left is not keeping their mouth shut, so I won't either. This lip color here is by B&H Cosmetics. It's their Cashmere Cream line. And this color, you know what? I have to get my readers to find it. Hold on. If you want me to tell you the actual color. Okay. The Ben Franklins will tell me. This color is called Shook. H-S-H-O-O-K. Why they have to use these words that aren't even really, well, yeah, it is a word, but they're just trying to be cutesy and hip. This actually goes on like a normal non-drying liquid lipstick, but then it does dry. I'm gonna put this mirror back up against the wall. Nice, huh? So this is what I think would be an absolutely family-friendly, suitable Thanksgiving type or any other traditional holiday Skype thing. It will go with anything, but especially will go for more subdued colors that many people are wearing this time of year. It's hard to feel festive when there's so many things going on in the world that we have to worry about. You've got a pandemic on your hands. You've got a lot of people feeling disenfranchised and not necessarily the people that are screaming the loudest. You've got a presidential election that half the country can't agree with. So I think that that often will be reflected in our fashions, in our makeup. But definitely, if you want to stay safe as possible, maybe you should not have very large family gatherings. And if you can do things over video and be close to your loved ones that way, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea. So if this video was helpful to you in any way, you know, share with your friends. Just be safe. Whatever decisions you make, please realize that your health is in your hands, and we have to look after ourselves and each other. If you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content, I'd love to have you subscribe. I make 3 new videos a week, at least I try to, and I'd love to take you along with me on my adventures. And when you do, make sure to wait for Cassie and Tabby Boy. When you subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell so it looks like it's ringing. If you do that, you won't miss anything I post. Talk to you soon. Bye.